Hey guys, welcome back. I'm me, edcgunner, and today I'm gonna show you my watch collection. This is a collection update. Collecting has always been a journey and trip to me. To get opportunity to share this with you guys as adds to the dimension of collecting and sharing with you. It makes it all the difference. And I think sharing on YouTube and with on social media has really gotten the extra flavoring and the cherry on top. So I'm very lucky to have opportunity to share my collection with you. Otherwise, I would have to wait for talking watches to come by. So I'm not gonna talk too much. This is my collection update. It's been probably a year since I did my collection last time, and there's been some changes, some consolidations, and some stayed, and the ones that stayed are here to stay for in the long run. And there are some collections, some watches here on the table that are probably not gonna stay, but it's usual. Let's first start with my first automatic watch, or whatever you call it, my first real watch. This is Seiko 5. It's my father's watch. I got this as a gift, and there's a story to it. But basically, after having this watch, I learned about watches, started learning, googling, visiting forums and everything. And this is a Seiko 5 automatic, a beautiful piece. Wore this for so many years. I learned on it how to polish a plexi crystal on it. It's spotless now. Learn how to resize a bracelet and all that good stuff you have here. This has a vintage feel to it, and it's really has a vintage bracelet and everything. And just like that as a watch, it ticks so many boxes. And what else do you wish to have when having this watch? It's perfect watch, and it's under $100, and I recommend this to anyone who's gonna get into watch collecting. Maybe you don't have a collection, you want to start off. This is a perfect piece to start off. Seiko 5s, there's so many varieties and so many options to choose from. So successor to that is my Datejust. Many years after, but not that many years. Lately, I figured out I'm not a collector for so much time. But this is so I started with Seiko 5, and you can see where this went. This was my taste. I like the Seiko 5 when I first got it, and now you can see with my Datejust that the Datejust has took it to the next level, and I just love it. This is a 16030. It has a quick set date, and it's just a beautiful watch. Has a Roman numerals. I did many videos on it. Has a crappy jubilee bracelet, but nevertheless, I'm wearing it on a bracelet. I'm liking it on a bracelet, and I think it's just a perfect piece for me, and one of the most perfect watches ever created. It's dressy, it's an everyday watch, it has a waterproofness of 100 meters screw down crown, and you either love it or hate it. This is a 36 millimeters with a plexi crystal. Perfect watch in my opinion for everyday, for just one watch. They just is the perfect watch for me, and it does and always will be, especially these 36 millimeters. It's just the way it is. So I'm gonna start off with this one. This is Tech Heuer Formula 1. I got some other watches, but they are not collectibles, and I have some watches in my other place. I think that everyone should have a Quartz watch in their collection. It doesn't have to be Tech Heuer, it can be a Timex, but it's useful sometimes on the weekends. You're gonna go do some sports, and if you have more than 3 or 4 watches, chances are some of them are not gonna be running because they are all mechanical. So if I'm wearing a vintage Omega and I want to go to the gym or somewhere to the weekend, I'm just gonna grab this one. I'm in a hurry, and it's a cool watch. Yeah, I got it used, but it doesn't really matter. I got it used. I like the Tag Heuer special used because they retail for around $1,000, and a used market you can get them under $500. So it's a good value. It's a no-nonsense watch, nothing wrong with it. I had my Seiko SKS, but the funny story, I was trading with a dealer, and he saw it on my wrist. I wasn't gonna get it, and he took it off my wrist. So I need to get another SKS, definitely. But I went through a lot of SKSs, so it's something that's gonna be in my collection no matter what. This time and point, it's not, so I'm not gonna say I have it. I don't have it, but this is a Quartz, Tag Heuer Quartz Formula One. It has a screw down crown. It's just a nice beater, nice piece for wearing. Also, I have a pocket watch. I think that every collection should have a pocket watch. It doesn't matter if it's a Russian Molnia. Mine is Omega. It's a vintage Omega manual wound, but you can hear it ticking. It's just beautiful piece, and I actually do wear it sometimes. I put it in my jeans fifth pocket or in a vest, and I always had a soft spot for pocket watches, and I think I need to have one pocket watch in my collection. If I get a hold of some other cool watch, there are some cool Longines Americans, Voltums or Zeniths or Longines watches, but I got this one. I didn't pay much for it because pocket watches are not that appreciated anymore, and I definitely enjoy having this one, and it takes away. This is a Tag Heuer Carrera. This is one of those watches I'm not really sure I'm gonna keep it because I'm gunning for a moon watch, and I got this on a whim. I wanted to do a review. You guys don't seem to love a Tag Heuer a lot, but this is just a beautiful Carrera. This is 300 SLR limited edition, has a 5,000 pieces, and has a Tag Heuer in-house slash Seiko a caliber 1887, and it's a column wheel chronograph. So I cannot see nothing wrong with that. It has a beautiful dial. In person, this dial is so much nicer, and it's branded Heuer. So this watch does not say tag anywhere on itself. The dial is beautiful, and it's a joy having this watch. For you who've been following me, I fixed the band. The band had original orange rubber lining that deteriorated. You can check it out in my review. I have a full review of this watch, and I know a wonderful guy who does with leather stuff. He makes leather, and he fixed this up. I love the buckle on this one. It's just perfect. This watch is 42 millimeters or 41, I'm not sure, forgot, but it's just a beautiful watch. Wears beautiful on the wrist, and again, I got it used. I may keep it, I might not keep it, but this is definitely not one of those I will never sell it watches in my collection. There's always some other watch that I want to have, and the way how I finance and purchase all these watches is I take some of these watches, trade, sell, buy, sell. Through the watches, I perfected my selling game. So I strongly believe, I follow Brian Tracy and read his books and everything, that everyone needs to learn how to sell and buy, and that's a very useful skill and negotiate. So beautiful watch. I would love to keep it, but unfortunately I cannot afford to keep them all. Over here, the orange monster, the orange thing, one of my favorite watches, orange monster. I've been wearing it entire summer, and this watch is just a blast to have. Here I have a Casio data bank. This is the vintage one, not the modern one, and you can see it's Monday today, 19. When I first got this watch, I got it at a flea market. When I first inserted the battery, it was the date somewhere from the 80s. So that was cool to see. I have a photo on Instagram. But pocket watch was one of my first loves when I was a kid. My uncle had a pocket watch, and it was a Chinese crappy one with a dragon on it. But it captured my attention so much that he gave it to me. It worked like 5 days after and it broke. But one of my first watches was Casio F91 digital watch, and I don't have that one. I need to get it actually. But this is a cool watch. It was an icon in its ways, and I love the fact that it's vintage, and I do wear it sometimes when I feel like I'm a hipster or something. And it's super lightweight, uh, plastic body bracelet, steel bracelet. Um, just a cool watch, and it has a place in history. So next watch I have here is the Submariner. I'm having it on this Vario band. It's really nice, but I've been experimenting a lot lately. I've been going through bands. I serviced it. It's been serviced like a couple of weeks ago, and it's running perfectly. I had an issue with the rotor. I fixed that issue with the bezel. Fixed that. Now it's super nice, and it's a colder weather. I'm sick of sweat, and I get a chance to experiment and enjoy this watch on many different weather bands. It's just perfect. And this band may not hold this, but on the rest it works perfectly. I love the color, and the Submariner is one of those watches that I like having out of the stock bracelet, even though it's my favorite. I'm a bracelet guy, can you believe it? And so many leather here, but it kind of gives that low key. It's a low key. It's not into your face, into your eyes. I like that understatement, and it's fun to have some fun with bands, with leather bands, with needles. This watch works well with all of them, and this is a 16610 Submariner. Nothing special, but to me, one of the most perfect watches ever built. Much as I love Datejust, I love this one also, and it's so fun. I even found Rolex green leather band ostrich to it, so I'm gonna experiment with that. So this is a staple in my collection. The new watch I got recently. This is IWC Flieger. This is 3706 Flieger der Flieger chronograph. It's from the early 2000s. It was produced until 2004 or 5, I think. And the older one have a tritium dials, which fade and get that nice patina. This one does not have, so it's a bit earlier, but it's a quintessential pilot's watch. It's chronograph. It's a watch that's not too big, like a big pilot from IWC. It's understated, and I can actually see a pilot wearing this watch and using it as a tool. It's a 7750 watch, ETA movement, nothing special. It has a gold plating, like a rhodium plating, but a gold cover on the movement. I encourage you to go and check out my review of this watch. And this one I got recently in my collection, and the jury is still out. It's 39 millimeters. I'm not really sure, is it a long-term keeper? I do enjoy pilot watch and been wearing it every day ever since I got it. It's just a beautiful watch. It's simple, like a German watch, simple. And I know many of you do love Zen watches, and Zen makes chronographs like this, but if you go like a bit deeper and further for the brand new Zen, add some money more and you can land some of these watches, and that's been basically my philosophy. But other than that, I don't care. You can get Zen, I love Zen, but it's just a watch that I think it's almost perfect. It has a screw down crown also. The next watch is my champion. I don't know what to say. GLC Reverso, Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso, Grand Date, and has an 8-day power reserve, double barreled. This was a dream come true for me in this watch. I get lost just looking at the dial of this. I can talk to you about technicalities of this watch for an hour, but it all comes down to this: do you love the watch? Does it speak to you? and this one definitely is my favorite. And how cool is this? Check this out. Check the movement. And for all of you guys, you've been asking me, this watch does not hack. So yeah, it's not that important, like some of you newbies think it is. This watch has been a dream come true to me. I'm very lucky being able to get it. There are not many of these around, and I'm very proud to call myself owner of GLC Grand Date Reverso. It's amazing. This is Seiko Panda. The 1820 is a reference for Seiko Panda 6138 as the movement, and it's a column wheel automatic chronograph. But just take a look at this dial. It's beautiful. It's beautiful dial, and I got this as a gift, so it makes it even more sweeter because it's an automatic column wheel chronograph. It's a Seiko and it's a Panda and it's beautiful. Case closed. Next watch I have, this is my Longines. I sent my collection to Bill Sanders, watch art side, and he was very fond of my Longines. This is what I call my own Longines Calatrava. Just a simple dress watch from Longines. It's not one of those fancy calibers, and one of those nicer calibers from Longines, but it's in immaculate condition. Has some surface scratches, but overall, until I get Patek Philippe Calatrava, this is my Calatrava definitely, and I just love it. It's perfect, has a small second. What else can you ask from a watch? It's a Longines back from the years when Longines was something more serious. It was a more serious brand. They have the in-house manufacturer, and nowadays, unfortunately, they're just part of the bigger scheme. And I do love Longines, but Longines from the 60s, 70s, and 50s is where it's at. So beautiful watch, I love it. And right next to it, I have my Omega Constellation. Fortunately, I had to get rid of some of the Omegas to get my WC, but I kept this one. And I like to keep the best examples and the ones that I like the most. I had a Seamaster and Genève. They were great, but not as great as this one. This is a Constellation, and I like it because it's not a pipe band. I love pipe band, but this one's more simple. This is not a gold watch. This is a gold capped. This is gold, but it's a stainless steel watch, and it has just a little capping. But the more subtle details you look at it, look at the profile, look at the lugs, look at this here, edging. This watch is really beautiful, and I'm very lucky. I had so many Omegas, vintage Omegas, but this one is really something else. And the Constellation line from Omega and vintage watches is where it's at, of course, if you overlook the moon watches and those higher ends. But in dress watches, the Constellation line back in the days is the best value, and I cannot say which one do I prefer to these watches, and fortunately I don't have to because I got them both. And yeah, that's it. This Omega, I think I'm gonna conclude my collection review. So tell me, what do you think in the comment section?